King Charles gave £250 million to the commoners, never settle. King Charles's huge green energy expansion could bring him £250 million a year. The king has given up the chance to benefit from a £1 billion a year windfall from a major expansion of green energy for the wider public good. He's asked the government to change the way the monarchy is funded to ensure that the extra revenue from 6 new offshore wind farm projects, which could bring him an extra £250 million annually and almost quadruple his current income from the taxpayer, is used for the nation's benefit instead. So no £250 million of spare change rattling around, which could be pocket money for little Harold and Megabyte. So this is no doubt a psychological blow from Charles. He's publicly giving £250 million to the commoners to help them instead of the Markles. Do you remember? £250 million is what the Sussexes asked for in order to give up their titles when they said they offered to during Megxit. To be a subtle blow without giving them the ability to respond, or they'll look like greedy jackasses. This is such a kind act. Charles is staying true to his role. He cares about the people that he serves, and he's helping the climate. This is a win-win for all involved. Well, except a small group in Montecito or wherever they're holed up now. Harry is whining about breakfast sausages, and King Charles III endured the pressure of being the heir, navigating parenting 2 young boys that lost their mother and beginning his reign shortly after losing both of his parents. Rolling down windows, open bike rides, hopping there and there to receive fictitious awards and giving inane speeches, using security as a personal Mr. Delivery service, I don't even see why the FBI would be taking their calls. While I believe that the reports for receiving death threats in the beginning are true, I think the threats now are probably just for them to shut up, which is their choice as private citizens, but there are consequences to exercising your rights. Royal sources stressed that the king, as he made clear in his Christmas broadcast, was mindful of the cost of living crisis facing the country in making the move. The new wind farm projects agreed upon today, 3 in the North Sea off the Yorkshire and Lincolnshire coast, and 3 off North Wales, Cumbria and Lancashire, will provide a major boost to Britain's efforts to reach net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. They will swell the coffers of the Crown estate, whose profits are used as an index to determine the amount of taxpayers' money that the monarch receives in the sovereign grant each year. Option fees paid by energy firms will bring the hereditary property empire, which owns the seabed around the coast, an extra £1 billion a year. They're set to produce enough electricity to power 7 million homes, and once they're operational, the firms will pay rent according to how much energy they generate. Charles III would be entitled to a sum equivalent to 25% of that 1 billion figure, annually over the next few years. But instead, the king has asked the 3 trustees of the sovereign grant, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, Chancellor Jeremy Hunt, and the monarch's keeper of the Privy Purse, Sir Michael Stevens, to cut the 25% figure as part of a 5-year